What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we're going to go over everything that was included today in the Year 6 Season 3 Burden of Truth live stream. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. The stream itself was an hour and 40, so give or take the 10 minutes it takes to warm up at the beginning, but we're going to try and just blast through anything that was important just in case you don't really feel like watching it. First of all, it started off straight away. It was giving us the release date, available on February the 25th. For all Division 2 players. There will be a maintenance. I will go over the patch notes later with the precise time, but I guess 8:30 UK time for 3 hours is the usual drill. Next, they went over the seasonal modifiers. None of this has changed since the PTS. I will go over it in the patch notes when they land in a little bit more detail. However, they just kind of went over it, so nothing too exciting to talk about here. That we'll go through that in another video in bigger detail. But there are the modifiers now, if you want to see them and know the names for them. One thing to note here is when we look at the hostile modifiers, you can see here, when you get on your season journey, that remember that you can skip parts 1 and 2 if you're level 40 and start straight away at journey number 3, chapter number 3. You can see here that as it gets more difficult, so as you go up the chapters, it gets much more difficult. Up to chapter 5 and onwards, the enemies have a 30% extra rate of fire, 30% movement speed, and 10% armor regen and health regen per second. Now, I don't think a lot of people actually experience this, and I think it's gone widely untested. I'm not so sure how people will feel about this. It did feel rather difficult from what I saw, but I guess we will see as the season progresses if this is a bit too aggressive in comparison to even the modifiers that we get. After that, they did talk about some very slight changes to the gear that we tested in the PTS. I'll go over that in the patch notes because they didn't give a concise list, so giving you part now wouldn't really benefit you, but it wasn't anything to necessarily worry about. The craziest thing that they did talk about though was the Birdie Backpack Exotic, which is going to be the Master Manhunt reward this season, much like the Provocator this season. But they have made it 100% revive speed up from 50% and not give a delay either, which is absolutely insane. So that's one interesting change, but we'll go over the rest when we actually get the patch notes a little bit later on. Next, they talked about the priority objectives, and that's how you unlock all of the modifiers this season, all in one place, hopefully making it a little bit easier. They also talked about seasonal XP being rewarded everywhere, pretty much in every single activity in the game, and you also get bonus seasonal XP if you run with the modifiers on this time, because a big clump of feedback was that actually there was no benefit to running with the seasonal modifiers on. This was the new seasonal journey, as I just talked about before. As you can see, they can see that when we start, we'll have options for journey number 1 and 3 at level 40 available straight away. Basically just to get us away from having to craft gear pieces and things like that, because at level 40 we've been doing that for years, and therefore it doesn't really have a much of a point. It's just more of a wasting someone's time. But as you can see there, you can see that you can get the, if I just flip that back very quickly, if they're going to flip to number 3 again, yeah, there you go. You can see the unlocks are much quicker. There's 3 in that section because it's also the active and the passives that we will unlock as we go through them last sections of the journey. Next, they talked about the stash again. It's going up to 400. Just remember that is 50 for owning the Year 1 Premium Pass, or whatever it is it's called. And it's also 50 for owning the Warlords of New York. I assume most people will get the 50 from owning Warlords of New York, but you might want to pick up the Premium Year 1 Pass for the extra 50, or you might not. This does go into changes a little bit, but I will talk about it because they made an actual segment on it here. They've changed one of the mods on the Oxpecker. They have give it 10 extra rounds instead of 15% headshot damage with the muzzle slot. Again, they went out of the way to talk about this, so I will mention it here. The Exodus gloves have been changed to a red 15% weapon core with crit chance and crit damage, which I think is a pretty good change. Next, they showed us a very quick glimpse of the season pass. All this is the cosmetics that we can get. This is 3 of the sets that we will be able to unlock. They talked about the movable helmets, like the when it goes dark, they will lower down. One of them outfits is free, the other 2 are premium. And then they showed us some of the skins here. There was a yellow one coming up in a minute that I did like. Let's have a look. There it is. I like that one. I hope it's a universal one and it's not gun specific, but I guess we will see. And again, here you go. You saw as it went dark, the night vision just kind of moved down, and that's going to be if you go in buildings, not just if it's dark in the game. Anywhere you go, any kind of dark area, that will change. Another quick recap of the skins before we move on. Premium. It says premium. So I do wonder if that's going to be gun specific, as it did say universal on one of them skins then. So yeah, that's a little bit of a shame. I do like my universal skins. I know they can't be quite as specific. Yeah, it says premium on that one, premium on that one. Does it change yet? Yeah, universal. So unfortunately, yeah, the one that I really want the most, I'm probably never going to use. There we go. That's not a gun that I use, but I do think it's really good. Let me know in the comments down below which ones you like, if any, or maybe none of them. Next, they talked about new events coming to the game. Basically, they did a little bit of practice last season with basically different types of XP events, one being the proficiency XP event. They're bringing a lot more of them to the game this season. For instance, they're going to have a Dark Zone XP boost. They're going to have a Clan XP boost. There's all kinds of different ones, which they do show now in just a second. Here we are. So you can see here the Shepherd XP one is pretty good. ×5 is making a comeback, along with obviously Golden Bullet, SHD Exposed, Clan, then Dark Zone XP event, 3 times XP event, Season XP event, and then Reanimated. Whether this actually ends up being the actual timeline, I don't really know. I guess we'll see tomorrow when the patch actually goes live. Then there was a lot of information because it's the 6th anniversary. We've got to the 6th year of the game. And they've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. They did say they got an April Fool's event coming up, an Easter event coming up, which are 2 events that we don't usually get celebrated in the division. Then they talked about the 6th anniversary stuff, and there was a bunch of rewards for this, including Twitch drops, which they're going to show in just a second, and also a backpack for everybody that has been, it's just in the game that will get rewarded to everybody, much like the Lexington. I will talk about the Lexington while we wait for the screen to change. They said that they're looking at different ways to bring that back into the game for the people that didn't get rewarded it, because there is a lot of people who didn't log in during that, availability. And they just said they're looking at bringing it back. This is a backpack that Yannick did confirm that is a cosmetic backpack. And it does live update your SHD score on the back of it. This is the free one. They did also mention that there will be a premium version as well that you can pick up to be able to purchase from the store. Talking about apparel events, they have confirmed that they are not yet coming back, but they did lean towards the reason apparel events have kind of disappeared is that they need to make some more money from the game, and that they might come back in another way where it's kind of a premium feature as well as a free feature. They didn't really expand on it too much, but it does look like it's up in the air a little bit. But there was a bit of a, people are willing to pay for things more in the Twitch chat. If they feel like it's worth it, people are asking about bring this back to the store, bring this event back, bring this costume back, bring this rogue costume back. So that's interesting to see, because that is usually the narrative that people don't like paying for things too much or it's too expensive. I think the fact that people want certain things is good. They probably could lower the price on some of them. That is for sure. Let me just find the Twitch drop section for you. So these are the Twitch drops that are coming 1 week after, 1 week tomorrow. So they're not coming straight away, but they're coming 1 week tomorrow. Week 1 and week 2. So basically some caches, arm patches, exotic caches, and then a nice weapon skin there, and then another nice weapon skin here. I assume these will be universal. I do actually like this one here for the 3 hours on week 2. They then talked about, as you just saw, I'll just skim along very, very quickly, the easy anti-cheat that is being updated for the game, basically to help them combat with cheating and things like that. The only thing they did say is just be a little bit cautious. It might cause some problems on PC because they're not going all in with it at the beginning, doing part updates as the season progresses. And they have come across problems with the Steam Deck version and the Linux version of the game, and they said please just bear with them. They just need a little bit more time to get them sorted out. And then after that, they just did the usual Q&A kind of sequence that was kind of littered with, you know, more PvP stuff, and there was like, not right now, no more incursions, no more raids. They did talk about the Brooklyn DLC a tiny bit, saying that they were back in mid-March to talk about that. You know, it's all systems go. Hopefully that is still on track. The season 3 blueprints again got brought up, and Yannick said it's on the list. They're looking at it. And yeah, that was about it. I'll have a quick listen again and come back to you if there's anything else more important. That was a really good point, actually. So the climax mission that we have now with the Provocator is going into the legacy manhunts, and you'll be able to replay that and earn the chest. The chest will only be available in that legacy mission that we can play anytime that we want. It's not going into the general loot pool. But what was interesting was they're actually moving the modifiers for that mission into that legacy manhunt as well. So you will be able to play it with this season's modifiers. This season's modifiers will only be available in that legacy mission. You won't be able to take them out into the rest of the world or anything like that. But definitely interesting that not only will that, you know, legacy manhunt be available, but actually this season's modifiers will still be available for that. I do wonder if we'll be able to turn them off or not, but I guess we will see, because that probably means a slightly new layout for the legacy manhunt menu will be coming tomorrow as well. They did say that they want to have a look at updates for Descent, but it's not on the table yet. They did say when they go back at it, they would potentially look at some kind of checkpoint system that we've been told is not a possibility before, but Yannick kind of just erred over it and said that they would look at it when they revisit Descent to see if that's even possible or not. So I wouldn't get your hopes up when it comes to that. He said no new conflict maps as well, if I've not already said that for the moment. And he also said no more loadout slots for the moment. They appreciate that they've added stash, and that, you know, kind of instantly rolls onto the fact that people want more loadouts, but they said for now the stash is kind of the limit. I asked the question at the end, which I assumed was not going to be a popular one, saying that I think Master needs to be more difficult. It feels very on par with Legendary. And Yannick said they do try it out. They sit down as a foursome and they have a go at it. And if they complete it, you know, together and they manage to get through it, there's a bit of a running joke that they have as a department that actually it probably needs to be harder because they've managed to get through it. But he said obviously they will always reassess and look at ways of making things more challenging or more difficult without just, you know, making the health pool of the enemies much more difficult. There's obviously got to be a point where they can't just make the enemies practically invincible on health. They've got to make it much more interesting and much more, you know, harder in different ways rather than just increasing the health pool of the enemies. Otherwise it's just going to get boring, right? If you're just shooting a whole mag at an enemy, yeah, that's not really increasing difficulty. So he did say that obviously as time goes on, them things will be looked at and hopefully much more challenging. And that was about it. They said that there's no PTS coming to Steam for now, only for people who have it on Ubi Connect. And that was about it. They showed us a very nice segment at the end with Yannick, Palais, Lauren, and one of the other developers, which I will let play out at the end, giving their own recap, just in case there's anything that I missed. But that's going to be it for the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
As a wise woman once said,
Agent, you ready to see how far down the rabbit hole really goes?
and yes, you guessed it, this new season is all about exploring the ways of the rogues. Year 6 Season 3, Burden of Truth, introduces the new global modifier, Rogue Momentum.
It's all about skills, bending the rules, using dirty tactics, and engaging in high-risk, high-reward combat.
This season, we encourage you to be more hostile and use every trick in your arsenal to unlock powerful combat bonuses.
Rogue momentum can be accumulated by eliminating enemies. Standard kills, headshot kills, explosive kills, skill kills, anything goes.
Performing various skills will fill the Rogue Momentum gauge, which has 5 tiers that grant weapon and skill damage, movement speed, reload speed, and other bonuses.
Momentum depletes over time but can be temporarily paused when using pulse or sprinting. Random enemies can be marked as blacklist, and eliminating them will grant a substantial increase in momentum, as well as bonuses to weapon handling and critical hit chance.
Active and passive modifiers in Burden of Truth will also contribute to the main theme of the season, offering various perks such as instantly maxing out your rogue momentum and doubling momentum gain through skill kills.
To match your growing momentum, enemies will also become more ruthless and resilient. Frenzy, this season's hostile modifier, will feature increased rate of fire, movement speed, and rapid armor and health regeneration for enemies. Starting with Chapter 3 of the seasonal journey, frenzied hostiles will become more common and powerful as you progress through the season and grow in strength.
Year 6 Season 3 brings an array of exciting improvements to the seasonal journey. We are making modifiers the true star of this reworked experience, with season journey tasks now centered around modifier gameplay.
You'll gain access to modifiers earlier than before, allowing you to dive into the season experience right away.
Modifiers will now be earned through the seasonal journey progression instead of priority objectives. Plus, you'll unlock season XP bonuses for having modifiers equipped.
Additionally, season XP will be earned through all open world activities. For example, playing your favorite game modes will now contribute towards seasonal progression.
There's a few improvements coming to the priority objectives as well. Following your feedback, we're removing harder to find activities like elite convoys and territory control, and adding a new daily refill system that fills up your rerolls for free every 24 hours.
This allows you to have up to 3 rerolls in the priority objectives to find the activity that suits you.
Season 3 introduces one of the most anticipated quality of life updates, increased stash space.
50 additional slots will be added for Warlords of New York expansion owners, and 50 slots will be available for Year 1 pass holders.
The stash space obtained on standard characters will also be available to hardcore characters.
Building further on the skills theme to maximize the modifiers, Burden of Truth introduces Shiny Monkey Gear, a new brand set that provides skill efficiency, skill duration, and repair skills. A new gear set called Refractor will boost your skill damage and enhance status effects.
Season 3 brings 3 new exotic items. Exotic collectors can look forward to the new exotic SMG Oxpecker, exotic gloves Exodus, and an exotic backpack, Birdie's Quick Fix, exclusive to the Climax mission. The Oxpecker is a must-have item for all shield players, as it provides shield repairs and slows shield health loss.
The Exodus gloves feature the new talent Smokescreen, which allows you to drop a smoke bomb on armor break, concealing you from enemies in PvE and granting 100% pulse resistance in PvP. Birdie's Quick Fix comes with the Combat Medic talent, offering 50% damage resistance, 50% revive speed, and minus 50 weakened debuff time.
Players with the Season Pass can gain access to the following premium track rewards: 10 gear dice, 9 weapon skins, 2 outfits, 2 new prestige arm patches.
More than that, players can earn 600 premium credits by progressing through the Season Pass on the premium track. The free track will include 1 outfit and 1 weapon skin, allowing every agent to gear up and stand out in the streets of DC.
But that's not all. Throughout the season, you can look forward to a variety of in-game events. These will include familiar favorites like XP multipliers, along with a new spring project where you can earn new named weapons and other rewards. Additionally, there will be exciting new features like weapon stats and resource boosts. Similar to the last season's Expertise XP event, we're introducing more opportunities to earn extra XP through different game mechanics. For example, earn additional XP and Shepherd ranks by responding to distress calls from other agents, or participate in the Dark Zone XP event, where XP gained from the event will not be lost upon death, preventing you from losing ranks. You can also max out your clan or unlock the weekly Golden Clan cash faster with the Clan XP event.
March is Division Anniversary Celebration month, and this year we've prepared a few surprises you definitely won't want to miss. Stay tuned for our upcoming announcements, agents. We've got plenty in store for you.